Let me say something real quick. Let me just say something. Nikola Jokic is the best player in the world right now. If you don't believe that, I will respectfully disagree with you. There's no shade. There's no hate. You're allowed to disagree with that statement. He's the best player in the world right now. He's on a historic playoff run. There's not really an answer. Supposed to talk about this today on First Take, and unfortunately, Doc Rivers was fired. And so the breaking news, kind of took us off our script a little bit. But I was going to go through some of the top playoff performances so far in the playoffs. So think about this. Game 5 against Game 4 against the Phoenix Suns. They lose. Denver loses. Jokic has 53 and 11. And a lot of that was one-on-one. And they make a little bit of an adjustment where they're just like, we're going to go back to having Jokic high, having him hit cutters, having him play DHO action. He goes for a 29-point triple-double in Game 5. He goes for a 32-point triple-double in Game 6 to close him out. And then tonight, he's got 34, 21, and 14 on 12 of 17 from the field. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And this is going against Anthony Davis, who is one of the best defenders in the NBA. And speaking of that, this is another reason I like the matchup where Hachimura is on Nikola Jokic. Go back and watch that first half. Any time that Denver, any of their players were able to drive by a Lakers defender, whether it was in pick and roll or out of a closeout or just one-on-one in transition, and Anthony Davis went to help and tried to block a shot, right? Who got the rebound? They missed. Jokic did. Jokic, the size in this series is going to matter. And this is why I think the adjustment for the Lakers of playing Hachimura with LeBron and with Anthony Davis is going to be huge. It's going to be huge. A few guys for Denver that I thought were fantastic tonight. Bruce Brown, especially early, just a spark plug again off the bench. I think he's going to be a huge X factor in this series. Jamal Murray, who I mentioned, again, another great playoff performance from him. Still think Lakers haven't quite figured out that two-man game with Murray and Jokic. That'll be something that we'll dive into more as we get further along in the series and we start seeing the adjustments they make. And then Michael Porter Jr., aggressive early. I think at times, whether they do go big or whether they stay small, he could potentially be a mismatch for the Nuggets. Rebounded it well, had a couple blocks from behind, improved defensively. KCP, I mentioned his layup earlier. There were times in that second half where Lakers cut it to 12, Lakers cut it to 11, KCP hits a big three. Lakers cut it to 8, KCP hits a big. Like he stepped up, and I know this series obviously means something to him because he won the 2020 championship with the Lakers. So again, all those guys, I think I've covered sort of all of my initial reactions from Game 1. The last thing I want to say is congratulations to the San Antonio Spurs for getting the number 1 pick in the draft lottery tonight. Excited for all those guys down in San Antonio. I know a number of the guys in the front office and on the coaching staff well. We'll get into this probably on Monday on the Old Man and the Three Things, but the Sohan, Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, Trey Jones, Wembanyama, and I think it's 12 picks between 2024 and 2028. There's a lot to look forward to if you're a Spurs fan. Shout out to Austin, Texas.